How to make a cheap standing workbench with 2x4s when you have very few tools. Well, let's see. So here's the problem. I'm working on my motorcycle that I'm modifying as a cafe racer and I don't have a workbench. I'm working on a dining table, which is not even flat. It's got slits between the beams. It's a nightmare. So what I need is a workbench. And on top of that, I spend my day sitting at a computer. I don't want to be sitting all day. I want to be standing. I like it. So if I've got a nice and tall workbench, it's going to be amazing for my work. So let's talk about dimensions at the end of the video. I just want to mention one dimension right now, and that's the height of the workbench. I want my workbench to allow me to have a 90-degree angle at my elbow, which means I need a tabletop at 45 inches from the ground. I bought everything that I'm going to use from Home Depot. They cut the 2x4s and the MDF for me with the dimensions I'm going to give in the description. But for now, I'm going to get on building. and that's good. You are looking at $136.97 of wood. I bought those MDF boards and the 2x4s, everything that was cut at Home Depot. And I just want to talk about the dimensions right now. The height of the workbench, we talked about it earlier in the video, it is 45 inches, which means I'm standing right at the edge of the board right here. And if I put my elbows on it, my arms at a 90-degree angle. It's very comfortable. I don't need to slouch. I don't need to round my back. I can work here for hours. I can definitely see myself being here, working for a very long time and not feeling super tired, as opposed to every other workbench I've had in my life where I was sitting or I was standing and the height was not adequate for me. Now let's talk about the width right here. We have 63 inches in width for the workbench. Why? Because it's the most comfortable length for me to reach from one end to the other without having to bend. So 63 inches right here. And just as a side note, I like 63 inches because my office desk is exactly 63 and I always loved it. Then for the depth of that workbench, I have 31 inches. And the reason for that is if I need to pick something at the other end right here, I don't need to bend, I don't put any strain on my lower back. So again, if I go here, I don't need to bend forward to reach there. It's not something that's over there. All the dimensions I'm gonna give right now, it's all about ergonomics. I really try to get something that fits me. So again, 31 here with one hand, and with two hands, you're gonna see I'm bending slightly at my lower back, but not crazy. I'm not going here. So that is good. And the goal every time is really for me to be able to work for a very long time here without feeling pain in my lower back or in my knees or having the need for a walk or stretch my legs because, well, I'm standing. Now, let's talk about other things. When you look at the workbench, you can see it doubles as a shelving unit. We got two shelves. I wanted to put three, but it didn't work for what I wanted to do. I want to put toolboxes here. A toolbox is usually between 9 and 10 inches high. So let's look at my toolbox right here. If I want to put one of them here, I can have my arm with an angle. I'm not like this with no strength. I can be here sliding it. Same way when I want to take it out, it's very easy for me to take. It's not something where there is no room and I'm like this and it's uncomfortable. And then this one is slightly higher. It's a 10-inch high toolbox. Same thing, I can put it here. And I really want that workbench to have a bunch of boxes here, and I'm happy with that 15.5. I got the exact same height here. And then let's talk for a second about the bottom. I got 4.5 inches at the bottom. There is multiple reasons for that. The first one is, let's say something drop and things fall all the time. So I got a screw down there, I got a part, and I need to reach for it. I don't need to have my face up against the floor to see where it is, and I don't need my hand to be real flat to go and try to guess where it is. It's very easy for me to see. I can reach and get it. That's the first reason for that 4.5. Then I always feel like I need some room anyway under a workbench because when I work on it, let's say I'm right here, I have my feet under it and I'm not bumping on anything. So that's something important for me. I can move freely. And then finally, it's really when you clean around and you have a broom or a mop, you need to be able to go under it. Sometimes it's completely impossible and it stays super dirty under benches. That's not what I wanted to have. You can see I painted in black the bottom of the legs. This is for style. I feel like I wanted to have a nice design touch on that natural wood workbench. And for what I talked about, the brooming and the mopping. When you touch natural wood, it's gonna stain very, very quickly. It's gonna become gray, black, not good looking. So I was thinking, if I have some glossy paint, it's gonna look great. I wanted to do matte, but matte is never a good idea when you wanna clean it afterwards. This with a damp cloth, with a sponge, just a wet sponge, I can just clean it. It's glossy black. It's gonna stay glossy black for a very long time. So that's the workbench. It is super sturdy. You saw I put those diagonals right here because I had a lot of shaky action going when I was going this way. And now it's very sturdy. And then this one is taken care of with the multitude of screws I have over here and the legs that I have. So I am obviously super excited to be working on this. It checks all my boxes. I wanted something where I can stand because I feel like many of us, we just spend way too much time every day just sitting on our butts on a computer. and I wanted to be able to stand, which is what I'm gonna do here. Then I got my wrist resting, I got the 90 degrees, this is exactly what I wanted to have. That workbench is not a do-it-all in a workshop. This is more of a precision workbench because we're super close to my face. I can really see what I'm doing, and this is not something where I can put a lot of weight or a lot of leverage when I work. That would be more on here. If I want to do something that's heavy, or sewing something, or drilling, that I need to put weight on it and leverage, I want to be lower and use my weight. Here, this is really precision. This is really, I want to be close to my face and be really able to see what I'm doing. It can be a small part like this. It could be a bigger part that's resting on the top. It would be comfortable for me. Those are all the reasons why I wanted a workbench, a standing one, a standing workbench. Now, I am super excited to be doing all my projects finally on an actual workbench, this one. So you want to see me doing those exciting projects on that workbench? If you do, subscribe to the channel, activate your notification, that way you know when I release a new video. I see you in the next one, and meantime, keep fixing.